so makes sense. Damn, we're running up on time, but this, this is our subject. That is a current event. So once again, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. This might be risky. We're on Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, right? Every link's in the bio. We have merch and all at ndtees.com/risky logo merch. So did you guys see when Kevin Samuels was Nicki Minaj was on Kevin Samuels' show?
Yep.
So I just want to play. It was 18 minutes long. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but just her entry into the show was very like I don't know. I just had like an eye opening like epiphany. So let me show this to you guys real quick about just how she just conducted herself. All right. So guys, this time, if you can't hear the sound, let me know ASAP. Okay. Not like with the spit passed away. I let it play for 2 minutes.
If you caught somebody trying to be funny,
All right.
what you
Can you hear
gotta,
it?
let's have this real talk. Let's have this real talk. Because I know a lot of times when people will speak to you, it's like they trying to be funny.
Oh my God.
And I feel like if you call somebody trying to be funny, yes, I feel if you call somebody trying to be funny, then don't be mad at what you get. If you call somebody that, and you're really trying to, sincerely ask questions or get information or chat, then that's different. So I want to talk to you.
Okay.
Now, do you hear now? Is everybody at least familiar with his show?
Mm-hmm. Very much familiar with it.
Familiar with the clips that we see?
Mm-hmm.
Um. So now, did you see how she entered in? And do you see the clips that make the news, so to speak? How the women enter in, they're combative, they have all the answers, they're cutting them off, not letting them talk, and then he has to get down to their level, so to speak. And then we say we don't like his delivery and such. But this is Nicki Minaj, right? Why was she able to come in, conduct herself, have a what I would deem like a feminine decorum, and like almost address that issue? So why can't Nicki Minaj be that respectful to a 53-year-old man, but all these regular women go up there with stink attitudes, rude and the whole 9 yards, and they can't seem to take turns. But if you watch this entire interview, she spoke, he spoke. She asked a question, he answered it. She waited. She never cut him off. So what's the problem? Why can't these regular ass women do the same?
Well, Ham, one
Yes, sir.
one thing that I've concluded, and I've watched Kevin Samuels for a couple of years now, maybe a year or 2 years. I think just a lot of women do it just for entertainment. And Hamp, I remember several episodes ago you said that what sells is him being disrespectful. They'll take that clip and they'll run with it, but they don't see what's transpired before it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't see the opportunities that he's giving them. Hey, this is my podcast. You've entered it. Be respectful. And he gives them those warnings. Then all of a sudden, they don't adhere to the warnings. He gets disrespectful. That clip sells. I think a lot of them do it just for attention. But my whole take on this whole Kevin Samuels thing, no matter if you like the man or don't, cool, whatever, you have your opinions, cool. But when we look at Kevin Samuels, he presents facts. And if you take those websites that he enters into his chat room and you Google them in, the facts speak for itself. The highest divorce rate is among Black women. Black women are the least married, the most divorced. That's a fact. You don't like that? You need to take that up with whatever statistic came out with that, but that is a fact. And I think that's why a lot of people don't like Kevin Samuels, because he presents facts. But then you got Steve Harvey on the other hand. He presents no facts. He doesn't even have a college degree, unlike Kevin Samuels, but he tells women what they want to hear. He's king, but we don't want to talk about the past 2 divorces he's been in and how he's cheated on his ex-wives. So I think that's the issue with Kevin Samuels. I'm a huge 100% Kevin Samuel fan. I support him, and I hope his podcast continues till the day he dies.
Okay. So the question is scrolling below. You can also respond to B if you please. Slim, what do you think?
I think to your question is why was their conversation a lot more poised is because first of all, you could clearly see that Kevin Samuels was in lust the whole interview. You know what I mean? He was so like on his face, he was so taken back by the fact that he was even talking to her. Right. So there's that. So he wasn't going to be as disrespectful. He wasn't going to show the same. He gave her an extra level of respect that he wouldn't normally give to the regular women, as you would say, that came on the show.
Hold on, do we
So
know
that's why they weren't as combative as if, I were to join the show. He might have given me a little, because if you did watch the full clip, she did it wasn't just she came in as a feminine woman, because later on she was like, yeah, because, F this. And, if you don't like how women feel, women you tell these men that they could, so she got very vulgar later on in the interview. So she wasn't some poised woman that just came in respectful. Even as she was going off, he sat back and let her go off.
But
so he was so taken back by the fact that he was interviewing with her. He doesn't show that same respect to anybody else. So it wasn't that she just came in and she was respectful and they were able to have a meaningful conversation. He also showed a different level of respect than he does to anyone else. And that was clear in the show. It was clear in the interview.
No, I disagree with that. There are women who will go on the show and will go back and forth with Kevin Samuel and will use vulgar language. And there has been times I have seen he not respond. There was one lady who was going off, and he actually just sits back like this, lets her have her 5 minutes of ranting. He's like this and did not say anything to her. So no, I can't say that to be true. But what I can say to be true is if you watch his clips from the beginning to the end, before that clip that has sold on social media, he has given them several chances to tone it back, and they refuse to tone it back. And
right.
Then
but the way that his tone and his delivery and his response is going to be a little different than it would be when you're speaking to somebody like Nicki Minaj. It was clear in the interview. So I think to Ham's question is, why was this interview different than all the others that he's done? Is because he had a different level of respect for her, right? He put her at a higher caliber and he treated her differently. He doesn't respect the other women the same way.
The clip of
he doesn't see them on an even playing field.
But the clip of what I played was the first 40 seconds. She came in
hot.
No. What I played was the first 40 seconds of the interview. She acknowledged that they start in trouble with him. And they come in there and being disrespectful to him, and then they wonder why they get what they get. So do you think she even approached it with a certain amount of respect? That's why I played that part of the 19 minutes. Go ahead, Sean.
I would say to make it simple, she wasn't insulted. I think people who feel a type of way, they go in with a certain energy because they're insulted. They're insulted by how he delivers his message. They're insulted by how he speaks to women. So she wasn't insulted. What does she have to be insulted by? He's the woman, she's the woman that he describes that is the ideal fit for a man, right? She has no reason to be insulted. So she didn't come in with negative energy because she didn't feel like she had to. Women come in there with negative energy because they are defending all women. They want to stand up on a podium and I'm speaking for the girl who couldn't get it off. She didn't have the same energy because she wasn't insulted. I don't have a lot to say about that. I just feel like she just didn't feel that way.
I think later in the interview she shared that though.
Alex?
So I agree with everyone. I actually watched Kevin Samuels. He gives facts. I'm all here about facts. But I think the bottom line is that agreeing with Sean is that she wasn't coming there for advice. She was just coming there for clarification for the individuals or the women on her platform. I think she was coming there for clarification. And then I also believe that there was a bit of him being starstruck. This is Nicki Minaj. She didn't come in there all poised initially. She wasn't her normal turned up and all the other stuff but she was still Nicki. And I feel like she was trying to tone it down, but because I do agree with Slim, and I'm saying it again that, I do feel like this is Nicki Minaj. You rather have her as an ally than piss her off, number one. And then also when it comes to Sean's point, she doesn't need him. She is a boss. She is in her own lane itself. But then also to B's point, I feel like a lot of times when people come in there, Kevin Samuels is someone who matches people's energy. There are some people who generally come in there, hey, I want advice. And I'm here to listen, and I'm here to, I don't want to respond. I generally want to hear what you have to say. I'm here for the help. But then you have some other people who are coming in there for a moment. And I definitely feel like Kevin Samuels is the individual. He is the man who decides, I'm going to match your energy and then some. So when I feel like when it talks to, and being that I have watched the shows before, I don't think it's that regular women can't. I think it just happens to be that there's a difference between those who are coming in trying to seek a moment and who just want to talk talking versus someone who's genuinely coming in there and saying, hey, I really want to take your advice, because he gives facts at the end of the day, but he does turn up if you take it there with him.
Okay. I wanted to cite, like, she never cut him off, though. She asked him 5 different questions in the 18 minutes. She let him answer, right? She nodded. She acknowledged. He asked her a question about her being married. She answered, and she never interjected. So I think the respect was mutual. She said, I was waiting. I've been dying to get on your show. As though she can't get on this. Like, how can Nicki Minaj not get on whatever show she pleases? But I just looked at that like, wow, you know. Now, is it because their celebrity status? To everybody's point, perhaps. Was he more cordial? Maybe. But to B's point, watching the shows, I mean, I've seen him just have casual conversations, and not be rude or any of the clips that are hot. P, what you think?
I don't know this man. Like I
Okay.
don't I don't have an opinion because I don't watch the show. I don't know who he is. I know nothing about it. I do think it's funny though. We're talking about like essentially respectability politics, and if this was
Mhm.
any other conversation in any other way, everyone would be up in arms. And so it's funny that now that we're talking about how women are coming in, and again, if you're coming on somebody's show and you're turned up, then by all means, you get what you get. But I think it's funny that we are looking at Nicki Minaj, who we all know to be that type of hood booger, rah rah in your face, and because she didn't do it this one time, it's like, oh, well, she's the standard. Like, why can she do it and the other people can't? It's not the same. We're not comparing apples to apples. We're doing apples to oranges. So, I mean, that's all I really have. But yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't watch many interviews with her, so my perspective isn't that vast. But I do know she does all that sound effects, like the Monster song, which was amazing. I think when she rapped on it with Jay-Z and
how
Kanye
do sounds
West.
go? How do sounds go?
Nah, like Alex, do it again.
I will not.
I'm gonna make it a clip though, anyway. So you already short. um, Q, what do you think? What do you think? A lot of interesting perspectives. What P said actually resonates with me. What do you think, Q?
Let me channel my inner Kevin Samuels because I got the glasses in it. So let me just start off by saying this. I don't appreciate any woman coming onto my platform. Okay, coming onto my platform with any disrespect. Now, when Nicki came into my platform, she recognized me for who I am, Kevin Samuels. So, with that being said, I was able to have a dialect with her. Okay. So for all you women out there who think you know what was going on that show, you know nothing at all. Okay. So no, all jokes aside, no, I think that she definitely. I think it was Alex who said. I think she matched his energy. I don't think that Kevin Samuels looks to disrespect women, but I think that when women come on his show with a very feminine energy, if you're not gonna be able to have tough skin, you know what I mean, really speak in an assertive way and hold your own with tact, he automatically is going to go in on you. And I think that those women that get that, in some ways, they kind of welcome it, because no one forcefully goes into his show. They go into his show knowing exactly what he stands for and what he's about and how he conducts himself. So I think when Nicki came in, it was like, yeah, what up? He had no choice but to respect that.
Indeed, man. It's the best panel in the world, man. It's the greatest show on earth. I just wanted to say that. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell